we are doing the elementals. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to start with water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. What you need to know right now. What you need to know. Water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Then we'll move to fire, air, and earth. I do give my feeling on the card along with any channel messages that come my way. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Feel free to watch your other placements. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And or cross watch for somebody that you were dealing with. Okay. Water signs, overall energy for this reading, we have number 31, door to value. And it is pertaining to number 30, adjudication. So it feels like there's a final judgment taking place. Now, door to value is going to be your own personal value, as within, so without. But I feel like you've opened that door. You've made a judgment call. There is maybe a shift taking place in your energetic field that's allowing more financial abundance to come in for you. Abundance of really any kind. We have the King of Coins. Specifically, that is Virgo. I don't know why I couldn't think of that, but it's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Could be somebody you're dealing with. It also could just pertain to the energy that, again, is going to be financial. There we go. Hello, Vicky. Grounded, stable, feeling wealthy, being able to enjoy the finer things in life. We have the Three of Coins. That is collaboration energy, but it's also pertaining, again, coin energy. It's pertaining to doing what it is that you love, like putting forth that energy and effort into something creative that you enjoy doing for work or for money or whatever the case may be for you. With the Knight of Swords, this is the fastest moving knight in the deck. It's about communications, thought, truths, clarity. It feels like either, we'll clarify, but either you're receiving either way, you're receiving truth and clarity, whether it's coming from another person and or spiritually receiving downloads, intuition, guidance. In the underlying energy, that which is happening beneath the surface that you may or may not be aware of, we have number 6, contract, pertaining to number 18, child. Interesting. Contract with a child can be a few things. You could have a child in your life that you have a soul contract with, especially if it's your own child. I would say that you do. But this feels much more something contractual that you were meant to do as a child. Maybe you had the inclination, the insight, an idea, something creative. An example would be maybe when you were a kid, you always wanted to be a veterinarian, and that stuck out in your mind here and there, but life happened and you just never went back to it. But you've got this love for animals. And it's almost like this was a contract. There was something that you were meant to do. That's the positive aspect of it. Of course, it can go in any direction. I do feel like this is more positive because it's pertaining to we have the Magician, Gemini, Virgo energy, and the Hierophant, Taurus energy. I feel like you are manifesting whatever this is for you. It'll be different for everybody. Again, we will clarify, but the Hierophant to me is all about that higher level of commitment, really opening the door to your higher spiritual senses. It could even be that you're manifesting a guru into your life to lead and guide you, and or you're becoming that. So let's clarify. And just so you know, I'm not ignoring anybody. Hello to everybody. I just read the chat while I'm shuffling for the next sign. All right, what's the King of Coins? Okay, King of Coins is being clarified by the Two of Cups. So it could be a King of Coins in your life, an earth sign specifically. a romantic situation. I feel like whatever this romantic situation is definitely something where you're co-mingling in the respect of co-creating. I don't know where co-mingling came from, but co-creating. We have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a time of celebration, joy, happiness. And then we have a King of Wands. So you could have Earth in your chart. It could just be the energy. With the King of Wands, that could also just be energy, or that could be the person that you are in relations with. The King of Wands is specifically Sag, but it's Aries, Leo, Sag. The energy itself is about passion, drive, desire, forward momentum. We are still in Aries season, so it could even pertain to the fact that you're this is transpiring in Aries season. I should also say the same with the Earth energy. We'll be going into Taurus season here shortly. The King of Wands is also considered an entrepreneur, very magnetic, magical. I keep hearing relief. I don't know. Maybe there's a sigh of relief for somebody. We have the Six of Wands on the bottom. If this is, it could be public speaking as well. If this is your energy, I feel like you are moving towards some kind of recognition, possibly a small level of fame. You could be receiving some kind of bonus or shift in roles in your business, in your career. What is the Three of Coins? I heard you work well with others, or working well with others. Nice. So the Three of Coins is being clarified by the Four of Cups, the Devil in the reverse, Capricorn energy, and the Emperor. Well, that would make sense as to being able to work well with others. With the Four of Cups, this is all about being unsatisfied with the current emotional situations you've experienced. Now, emotions are put into everything. It's put into your work, what you love to do, your creativity, love, all of it. For some of you, it could be that something's been blocked. Possibly your intuition feels blocked, or your connection to spirit. But you are receiving intuition guidance. I also feel like you are receiving a new emotional opportunity. And I feel like that's pertaining to this collaboration or working well with others, or just that energy of getting this inclination to go back to, what was the example I gave? Being a veterinarian or something to that extent. The Devil in the reverse feels to me like you're no longer letting fear, doubt, or any kind of, I heard substance abuse, get in the way of your achievements, your creativity, you're working with others. With the Emperor, Aries energy, I feel like you're taking a leadership role in your own life. I also feel like you're bossing up. Again, that could be a promotion that you're receiving, some kind of leveling up. I also feel like you could be in charge of a team, running a team, but there's a need to remember to stay, well, I heard keep to your roots, that creative, joyful energy. We do have the Sun card, Leo energy, which is all about joy, happiness, abundance, creativity. With the Strength card, again, Leo energy, and that's being in your personal power. And then we have the Queen of Cups on the bottom, which is you. Aries or Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, doesn't really matter. That's you holding true to your joy, your happiness, your strength. What is the Knight of Swords? Interesting. So the Knight of Swords is being clarified by the Two of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the Tower. The Two of Wands is like the minor arcana of the World card. So again, it feels like you're turning your back on the old and you're moving up energetically. You're starting a new cycle. With the Three of Pentacles, I feel like that's the new cycle. For some of you, you could be leaving a group of people and joining a new group. Something that maybe is less toxic or dramatic. But either way, I feel like with the Tower card, this is life changing. This is Scorpio, Aries energy. Something that feels like it just changes your life overnight, really. And with the Knight of Swords, I feel like you're, again, either being offered this opportunity and or your intuition is leading and guiding you to it. Your door to value is expanding because you're starting to value yourself, your own worth, understanding your own worth. And that's beginning to play out in your 3D. And I definitely feel like you have some form of a relationship, be it husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case is, where it feels like you're working together. Even if it's not in the same business, it's energetically backing each other, energetically. So what is in the underlying the Magician? I'm curious what the contract is. There's that Page of Swords. So the Magician's being clarified by the Hanged Man, Pisces energy, the Seven of Swords, and the Four of Wands. I feel like from what you're manifesting, okay, so it's so funny because I have recently put a program together for manifesting. If you're interested, you can email me. That being said, it feels as though you're finally coming to understand when it comes to manifesting. Yes, it's fun to desire something and manifest it, but when you hit a certain point in your spiritual growth, you more or less want to start manifesting that which is on your templed path. Now, for some of you, this could pertain to a union, but I feel like it's so much deeper than that because I feel like you've gained a new perspective on the Seven of Swords is kind of mapping out or strategizing how to inevitably. Oh, interesting. Well, I heard soul and then I heard jumping. And so it almost feels like strategizing a faster way to get from timelines, like jumping timelines. Interesting. The Four of Wands to me is the templed path. It is, you're viewing things differently and strategizing, getting, for some of you, it is cutting time in half because time is an illusion anyways to get to where it is that you desire. But I feel like it's more so what's on your templed path as opposed to the material realm, if that makes sense. Okay, and then the Hierophant. So the Hierophant's being clarified by the Six of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. So the Six of Cups is reminiscent of childhood. Interesting. We have a contract pertaining to child. I feel like for some of you, it could be a past life soulmate coming back around. You could even be giving birth to this past life soulmate. However, I will say, or it could be your child. I will say that this feels more so like there was something that you were destined or fated, contracted to do as a child. With the Six of Wands, I definitely feel like you're having recognition of it, awareness, clarity, insight. But I also feel like it could pertain to being in the limelight. It could pertain to having some kind of level of fame or being acknowledged on a large scale. With the Ten of Wands, I feel also as if there is a need to release the burdens that maybe took you off course, if you will. So, water signs, I definitely feel like you've shifted your energetic value and therefore it is playing out in your 3D. There are opportunities coming through for you. I definitely feel like I was going to pull a card on the contract. What is the child in contract? That's a lot of cards. So we have the Four of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and the Three of Swords. Uh, it's interesting because I feel like maybe the contract was something that you needed to move through in order to open up to your templed path. We have the Four of Pentacles. That's holding on to the Page of Pentacles, which is some childlike energy, if you will, immature energy, possibly even some kind of opportunity. With the Ten of Wands, there's a need to release the burdens, and the Three of Swords that have brought not only heartache and heartbreak, but mental strife. And then we have you on the bottom, the King of Cups. So I think it's twofold. I think there's something that is meant to come back to the surface to clear. But I also feel as though there was some form of a contract that was made in childhood or in birth or before you incarnated here that you are meant to follow. But there's things that need to be pushed out of the way, although it feels as though you are doing it. We have number 18, April. So this is starting this month, I would say. And number 12, next fall. I feel like the completion should be by next fall, which isn't very long. So, and completion can mean a lot of different things. All right, I'm going to shuffle, read the chat, and move on to the fire signs. Okay. Hello, Gigi's family. I cannot read yours, but hello. Amber is my name. Amber Lee. Thank you. Okay, shuffling. Hello, Rachel. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy mid-week. Mid-work week, I should say, for most. Whew, it's getting toasty in this room. I probably should have done this earlier, but I felt called to do it at 2. And I was like, well, I appreciate the idea of starting at 2, but I'm thinking 1:15. I felt like I met spirit somewhat in the middle. Oh, nice, Vicky. I feel like I'm, in essence, it's my Friday every day, but I don't really feel like what I do is work in the sense of the 9-to-5 work. It feels more joyful, although it can energetically be draining, but it's actually supposed to be nice here too. However, it's like 65, so it's mildly deceptive. I like a nice 70, 75. That to me is comfortable. So it's beautiful outside, but the wind is, in my opinion, still very chilly. Still chilly. Okay, let me take a sip and then we'll get into fire. All right. Fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sag. What you need to know. What does Aries... Ooh, 2 more cards. Aries, Leo, Sag need to know. Aries, Leo, Sag. Okay, I'm getting the song. Uh, it's the rising sun. Something about the rising sun. Okay. Fire signs, overall energy, number 39, fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel, and number 20, house. So this is self-expression and speaking your truth. It's the throat chakra. And when it comes to the house, it's interesting because if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I feel the house pertains to the mind. However, this could be just specifically speaking your truth when it comes to your home or in your home. There's something about, okay, in that song, there is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun. I don't necessarily feel like this song is like, there could be a message in that song. So maybe check that out and see what resonates. There's something that you're meant to be speaking your truth on. And I do feel like it correlates with the mind. But I feel like there's a need to explain that when we speak the truth, our truth, it isn't necessarily like, let me give an example. Let's say your significant other or a best friend or something is like, hey, let's go to the movies. And you really don't want to go. You really just don't want to go. That's your truth. No, I'm just not. I really don't feel like going. A lot of times people will go just to appease another person. Like they think there's meant to be some give and take, and that's a bunch of crap. You're meant to follow your own intuition, your own guidance, and if you don't want to do something, don't do it. So to me, that would be speaking the truth, as opposed to, a lot of people think speaking the truth is when you're like, oh, F you, I think you're a pile of, whatever. That's just not helpful. Like in any situation, it really isn't. There's other ways to put things, but that isn't speaking your truth. That is spewing your opinions on people. Your truth is your energy in your body and what you do, not what you think of people, places, and situations, if that makes sense. So hopefully that made sense. That being said, I feel like there is some kind of truth that needs to be spoken. Even if it's spoken to your own self, recognizing your own truth, knowing your truth. And again, it's pertaining to a house. So this could be a temple. This could be, listen to the song. Maybe there's something in the song that you're resonating with. But I also feel like there's a correlation with your mind. If there's something you could be shifting on. We have a Queen of Cups, specifically Cancer, but it's Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You could be dealing with a water sign, have this in your chart, but I also feel like this pertains to your emotional side, your psychic abilities, your kind, caring, compassionate nature. We have the Child of Cups. So the Child of Cups is going to be, it could be romantic opportunities, somebody offering, some kind of kind, let's go on a date, let's have coffee. But I also feel like this almost feels like this child is moving through a keyhole, to me anyway. That's what I'm getting, is that they're taking something through a keyhole, which something needs to be unlocked. It could be a room in the house, which is the mind. With the 9 of Swords, we have fear, stress, anxiety, overthinking, overanalyzing, sleepless nights, nightmares. Again, we're coming back to the mind. I feel like the following your heart and or having compassion, love towards self and others is unlocking something in the mind. There's some clarity that you're going to be receiving. In the underlying energy, that which is happening beneath the surface that you may or may not be aware of, we have the templed path. And it is pertaining to number 13, wealthy man. So there could be definitely a wealthy man on your templed path. How that plays out in your life is going to be different. For some of you, it could be romantic. For some of you, it could be a business opportunity, a friendship. I don't feel like they put wealthy man out there for giggles. I think that they are meant to support you in a financial way, possibly along the way. We do have the moon card, Pisces energy. The moon is a few things, again, because this is talking about the templed path, heightened intuition, heightened spiritual gifts. It also talks about needing to move through the fear, the dark night of the soul energy, pushing through hidden secrets. Hidden secrets. There's something pertaining to the mind, something that needs to be unlocked. It's interesting for you to get the truth, to see the truth, to speak your truth, to know your truth. With the 3 of coins, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. There's some kind of a connection. The 3 of coins is collaborating with others. It could be this wealthy man. Could be several people. There's something financial, but a need to follow your heart in this matter and to move through. Hello, Leanne. To move through whatever this fear, anxiety, it's a block, if you will, that I feel like you've put out of your mind. And it's locked somewhere in there, but the only way out is through. And I definitely feel like there is some kind of collaboration or working together, most likely with this wealthy man energy, to unlock some possibly even stronger spiritual gifts. Let's clarify. All right, Aries, Leo, Sag. What is the Queen of Cups? Well, interesting. Okay. Yeah. You could be dealing with a water sign. Interesting. So the Queen of Cups is being clarified by the 2 of Cups. The 3 of Cups in the reverse. And the Ace of Wands. The wealthy man could be somebody that is a water sign. It's interesting because we just did water signs and they had a fire energy and an earth energy show up. It could have been one and the same people, but we're not on that sign anymore or those signs. So let's move on with yours. 2 of Cups. So that is a romantic situation, emotional. With the 3 of Cups in the reverse, it's as if for some of you, it's not really feeling warm and fuzzy and celebratory. We have an Ace of Wands, which talks about passion, Aries, Leo, Sag, a brand new passionate beginning. But with the 3 of Cups in the reverse, it's like the cups have spilled out and we're not celebrating. It feels more like this is more about passion than anything. Like the passion is maybe what's keeping this going. The moving forward, the passion, the drive, the desire. I also feel like for some of you, there could be an end to some form of an addiction when it comes to this person and or this relationship. What's the Child of Cups? Okay, I'm going to go back to that song. Although the Devil card has not popped out, it is entirely possible that either you or the person you're dealing with, be honest and take it out, resonates, has been meddling in energy that with that song feels very devil energy, shadow energy. And there's no shade because we all have it. It's just what extreme we're playing in it at any given time, right? With the Three of Cups in the reverse, it feels very much like some form of addiction to me. And we'll see if the Devil card pops out. But I feel as though, I'll be honest, it's on your side. I feel as though it's on your side. And the reason being is because we have that Child of Cups, that key following the heart. There's something that's been hidden away or locked away that you're not aware of necessarily on a conscious level. We have the Ace of Swords with that Child of Cups, which again feels like the key to unlocking something. This is Aries or Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. This is your fifth chakra. This is your truth, your clarity, everything that it's the energy that you're embodying. But I feel like this is talking about you'll be embodying this energy when you unlock the room in the mind that is keeping you cloaked or in the veil of darkness. We have the World card. So this truth is literally going to set you free. This is the end of a cycle. Aquarius, Capricorn energy. That's the time to celebrate. There's something pertaining to possibly even your love language or your emotions that there's, and again, it's different for everybody. This is a collective reading. So it could be anything that's got you swimming in the darkness. I don't know what else. I mean, I'm just giving you what I'm getting. With the Three of Wands, I feel like this is something you've been waiting a long time for without even knowing you've been waiting a long time for it. What is the Nine of Swords? That song is like on blast in my head. And it's just, there is a house in New Orleans and the rising sun. So it's interesting because the Nine of Swords is being clarified by the sun, Leo energy, the Hermit, Virgo energy, the Page of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. And I do want to make note that we have the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom, which is the slowest moving knight in the deck. So there's something, now this is the happiest card in the deck, but I feel for this purpose, we're talking about the Nine of Swords, fear, stress, anxiety, overthinking, sleepless nights, nightmares. I feel like this is shedding a light on it. It's like illuminating. With the Hermit card, this is like a spiritual awakening, literally needing to go within to figure out who you truly are, your truth, going within to unlock the doors, clean out the rooms, the things that we've been holding on to. I feel like there's an illumination taking place. And I feel like it's going to honestly illuminate the moon. There could be a fear of things coming out, even not knowing what exactly it is, but a fear pertaining to maybe not knowing what's going to come or what might happen or how difficult or how bad it might be. It's not bad. It's not difficult. The relief is on the other side. With the Page of Pentacles, this is an opportunity that I feel like you need to take. And in order to get out of that Nine of Swords energy, you need to follow the sun. And the sun is leading you into the Hermit, which is literally telling you to go within, seek your higher spiritual self, meditate, find a guru if you need to. With the Page of Pentacles, that's the opportunity coming in, and the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, Pisces, Sagittarius energy is things getting moving after a time of stagnancy. And I mean a long time of stagnancy, but I feel like you're the stagnancy. I don't think that it's things in the universe just aren't happening for me. It's your energy that's withholding the divine timing. You are the divine timing. It's a matter of unlocking the room, the door. What's the Moon card? So the moon is being clarified by the Two of Swords in the reverse, the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. Have you been seeing 222 lately? That is your sign. So the Two of Swords in the reverse, it feels like you're not necessarily undecided. I feel like you've made a decision. I just feel like with the Two of Pentacles, it's almost a balancing act. It feels like you're making things more difficult than you necessarily need to. And frankly, it's almost as if you're hiding your true self from people for some reason, as if you've given your own persona to yourself that you're wrong or you're off or you're scary or you're this. It's like a defense mechanism. In fact, maybe that's this whole thing in general, is that you have this belief form that you are eccentric or witchy, or that people aren't going to understand you or get you, or that people just aren't, smart enough or in the know enough or whatever. And that's your defense. That could be your wall, your literal wall, but it's not true. It's just you're creating it by believing it to be true, by saying it over and over again. I feel like that's an example for somebody. With the Two of Wands, I feel like there's a need literally for you to let go of these defense mechanisms, let go of the lock and chain that's keeping you from shifting and growing and expanding. There is a wealthy man on your temple path. I just feel as though you're standing in the way. What's the Three of Coins? The Three of Coins is being clarified by the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, the Nine of Swords again, and the Hierophant. I feel like when it comes to, I think this is so many aspects in your life. It's not just one. I feel like you have built a Fort Knox around your truth and who you truly are, to the point where I don't even know if you're aware. And that there's some kind of defense mechanisms that you continuously put in place and keep in place to keep people away, to keep out the love. It's all about the passion. It's not about the love. I feel like this is your energy. I feel like the truth and clarity is really, truly up to you when you're ready to unlock the key, following your heart, really, truly the Hermit card, going within. But it's almost like, I heard listen to the song again. You're not even aware. I don't know if it's that you're not aware of the seeds that you plant, or if you're just ignorant or blind to it. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just giving you what I'm getting. But you're not even, it's like you're not even trying. I don't know. With the Nine of Swords again and the Hierophant, it's like this strong commitment to you and your persona. Okay. I'm going to get rid of that energy. You have timing is pushed back due to blockages. Oh my God. I'm sorry. It's not funny. It will be once you move through it. Then you can look back and laugh and laugh. It's funny that's literally the card you got. Number 53, by the end of the month. Frankly, by the end of the month, I sincerely hope you make a decision to knock that ish off and really get serious and make that shift. You're the only thing holding you back. Ain't nobody else. Okay, I'm going to shuffle, read the chat, and hopefully fire signs are not upset with me. And then we'll go on to air. Okay. You know, it's funny. It is the house of the rising sun, but the voice that I'm hearing it from is the 5-finger death punch. Which is a different version. I assume the lyrics are the same, but that's whose voice is in my head. Not anymore, though. We need to clear that energy. Clear it. Clear it. Leanne, it's been so long. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Although you do end up showing up eventually. It's different when it's live, isn't it? Maybe that's your reading. Oh my gosh. I don't know, Vicky. Well, if it is your reading, Vicky, sorry for being so stern with you. It's interesting. My sister used to get upset with me when I would do readings because I would channel messages, and some of them they just weren't things I would say or the way that I would put something. And she finally told me one time that she would be watching my video and yelling at the video, like, just say it, just say it. Because the message is meant for somebody. And so I've stopped, unless it's like super duper gnarly, I will say it, but you can still feel my resistance. Like, because I don't talk to people that way personally, but you know, spirit has a way of communicating, and if that's the way that somebody needs to hear it, then so be it. Well, you got to change that stinking thinking, first of all. Keep telling yourself you can. All righty. We are going to move into air signs at Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. We're saving the Earth for last. All right, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. What do you need to know? Right, meow. What do you need to know? Air signs. I do give my feeling on the card along with any channel messages that come my way. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Feel free to watch your other, good grief, other placements. Sun, moon, rising, Venus, and or cross watch for somebody you're dealing with. Oh, I need to start bringing a hair clip because my hair is tickling my face. I don't think I have anything. Okay. Air signs. Excuse me. Overall energy, we have number 28, victory. And it is pertaining to number 35, pathway. And I always see the butterflies. That to me is a transformative pathway. Butterflies mean change, transformation. And feeling victory is like feeling success, powerful, almighty, Midas touch even. We have the 6 of Cups. So the 6 of Cups is about nostalgia from the past. Now, we'll need to clarify, but it also could pertain to, well, I heard ancient archives. So I don't know if you're getting some kind of spiritual enlightenment from the past, something that maybe you were blessed with at some point. For some of you, there's somebody coming back around from the past. We have the Fool card. That's Aries, Aquarius energy. That's all about a brand new beginning. It is a new cycle beginning. You could be getting some kind of update or upgrade. Interesting. I mean, even just looking at the picture, it feels like you're getting some kind of an upgrade. Interesting. But brand new beginning, opportunity, taking a leap of faith, with the Ace of Cups. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, this is a brand new emotional opportunity. Okay, I feel like this could go two ways, frankly. For some of you, this is highly spiritual, and we're talking about new gifts opening up, something from maybe even a past life that's being upgraded or updated, downloaded into you, something, some DNA activation, something to that extent. For others, I feel like this could be a brand new emotional opportunity that from somebody from the past that's coming back around. We'll know when we clarify. We have the Three of Swords. I feel like the new emotional experience is taking place after a time of heartache or heartbreak. And on a spiritual level, it feels like maybe something went awry, whether it's the past or a past life with this spiritual gift, whatever the case may be, to where it left an imprint, a blockage. I heard blockade. So a blockage, a fear or something that kept it. Well, I heard forbidden. Interesting. Also could be a love, past life soulmate that was forbidden. We have the Knight of Coins. The Knight of Coins. I love the Knight of Coins. It's earth energy, but it is the slowest moving knight in the deck. However, it's worth it. It's worth the wait because this is loyal, stable. It's an energy, whether it's a person or an opportunity, it's something that is meant to last for a very long time. So even though it's like hurry up and wait energy, which is definitely not instant gratification, it is so worth the wait, because it is, again, it's loyal, stable, and will last, very long lasting. And the underlying energy, that which is happening beneath the surface that you may, okay, may or may not be aware of. I keep healing healer, you're a healer. That you may or may not be aware of. We have number 53, Magician in the Mirror. So before I get to what that's pertaining to, I feel like the Magician in the Mirror is alchemy, definitely. And it feels very magical. It's pertaining to number 31, bad health. And frankly, I feel like this is talking about you as a healer, which is why I feel like this is uber spiritual. With the Queen of Wands, this is your energy. I had to double check that I was on air because I feel like I did a live before and thought I was on another sign and I wasn't. Libra specifically, but it's Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Air, this is you embodying that energy, the air energy, receiving guidance, downloads, intuition, clarity, focus. And it's in your underlying, which means it's unseen, if you will, with the High Priestess. Frankly, unless you're dealing with a healer, the High Priestess, Pisces energy specifically, this is somebody who is highly spiritual, very gifted spiritually, highly intuitive. It is the magic. That's magic, powerful, energetically, spiritually. I feel like you're embodying this energy. This is the new pathway. Now, again, I am going to clarify. So for all of those who don't feel like that resonates, you can view it as a relationship of sorts. I don't feel like that's the case, but we'll get into it. Six of Cups. What's the Six of Cups? Oakley dokley. Six of Cups is being clarified by the Five of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Two of Wands. This is, again, talking about the past, possibly somebody from the past. Take it how it resonates. But I feel like there was arguing, fighting, bad mouthing, things to that nature. With the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, it feels very ungrounded, unstable. It feels like an energy of, for some, it's about being very selfish, broke, poor. And the Two of Wands to me is the minor arcana of the World card, which means turning your back on all of that and moving forward. Now, I'm going to jump back into the past life timeline here, where we're talking about if you had gifts at that point in time, something that, and you got to think past life, or maybe even your childhood, so take it how it resonates, but maybe you were talked bad about, talked down to, maybe family or friends or whatever were like, you're crazy, you're stupid, you're whatever. It made you feel poor, less than, broke, very ungrounded and unstable. So what was the best thing to do? Turn your back on it and move in a new direction. I feel like that understanding and awareness is going to bring victory, success, and forward momentum. You're in the energy of victory. And the victory feels like you've transmuted or transformed that stigma that probably stayed within you because it would be programmed into your DNA, whether it happened in this lifetime or a past lifetime. What's the Fool card? Balance. Three of Wands. Yeah, okay. I love it when I'm right, which is always. Okay, I may not always be right, but I'm never wrong. How does that sound? So the Fool card, this is going to bring balance, prosperity, even. With the Three of Wands, I feel like this is something that you've been waiting for. And what it is that you've been waiting for is the Four of Wands. Now, for some of you, yes, this could pertain to a union and you're going to get married, and that's fantastic. But the Four of Wands to me is the templed path. And I feel like you've been waiting. You've been waiting maybe even lifetimes to get back on this path, to get back on balance, to balance your energies. What is the Ace of Cups? Ace of Cups is being clarified by a King of Wands, the Magician, the Four of Cups, and the Chariot. So the King of Wands is an energy, could be dealing with a fire sign. It feels like they are popping up in everybody's reading, just saying. Specifically Sag, but it's Aries, Leo, Sag. The Magician, Gemini, Virgo, and the Chariot, Cancer energy. This Ace of Cups, yes, again, could be a lover, could be a fire sign. The fire energy is about passion, drive, desire, forward momentum, magic, charisma. To me, this is like the magic wand, right? It also does talk about an entrepreneurship. With the Magician, I feel like that's the energy of moving forward with passion, drive, and desire to that alchemy state, to that creating, to that energy, healing energy. The Four of Cups, to me, feels as though it's been waiting for the right experience, emotional experience, the right time, the clarity, the truth. It's interesting because I feel like these weren't necessarily... Normally the Four of Cups is feeling unimpressed, not super excited about the emotional opportunities. This feels more so like I've received this one. I enjoyed it while it was there. I'm ready to move on. Okay, I got this one. It's like leveling up. Even when you're talking about a relationship, like your first boyfriend or girlfriend ever is kind of like, okay, it's great. Like, this is wonderful. And then when that ends and you move to the next one, it's almost like different. Like you've upgraded your own expectations, your own energy. Like clearly you're not dating the same way and the same kind of person in your 40s as you were in your 20s. Hopefully. Just saying. So on a spiritual level, it feels like you've been waiting, you've cleared the last level. It's time for that new opportunity to come in, that Ace of Cups. That's your Ace of Cups. What I feel like you've actually been waiting for. And then it's like we're off to the races, victory, success, and forward momentum. Now, I will say again, if this is love, you could have a fire sign coming in for you. It's something that you manifested, and or they manifested. What's the Three of Swords? I heard they weren't ready for you yet. So that Three of Swords, that heartbreak, that disillusionment, the thing that stamped on you that this was bad, don't go back to it, whether it's healing energies or whatever, it's kind of like, again, we'll go back to childhood, and maybe you're constantly interrupting and you're constantly interrupting your parent or your friend or whatever. And finally, something happens to where somebody gets it through your head that that's not acceptable behavior. So you don't do it again, and you don't ever forget what made you stop doing it again. Just an example, the only one that came to me. So it's kind of like that. Like if you're saying I have this psychic ability, or even if you're dating somebody, and somebody shuts it down or breaks your heart or whatever, it imprints on you. And it's like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never going back there again. You may not even remember what caused it, especially if it's a past life, but you know dang sure you've put up that block, you put up that wall. We're not going past this. The Hanged Man, you're going to view it in a new perspective. You're going to see things very differently. The chaos, the drama, the heartbreak that, yes, I feel like was acceptable to feel those feelings, but it kept you from understanding that there were other opportunities. This is a burden you've been carrying around for far too long. Far too long. It's also a chironic wound, which chironic wounds, if you are aware, are talking about childhood and past lives. Ace of Swords, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. That new perspective you're getting is cutting through the veil. The truth, being able to see things very clearly. Also, opening up to your intuition, your insight. What's the Knight of Coins? Life-changing. Life-changing. So that Knight of Coins, that slowest moving mother trucker out there that's finally going to bring this in. We have the Tower. This is life-changing. Aquarius, excuse me, no. Rather, it is Scorpio, Aries energy. Major shift. This is major shift and change. Life-changing. With the Six of Wands, there could be a form of recognition pertaining to public recognition. Maybe, I mean, clearly if you're going to become a healer, an energy healer, maybe you start out small and move your way up and become world renowned, or maybe everybody in the community now praises you and acknowledges you. A stark contrast from whatever was before. With the Four of Wands, this also is opening up to healing, I feel like you're going to be recognized for healing others, but I also feel like you are healing yourself, receiving intuition, guidance, and downloads. And again, this ends up on the bottom again, which to me is, it's like owning your power. Finally. All right. What is the Queen? Well, I don't need to clarify you. That you're the Queen of Wands. And I feel like the High Priestess is self-explanatory, but we will clarify it anyway. So again, the Magician in the Mirror pertaining to bad health, I feel like you're in alchemy. I feel like you're not only healing yourself energetically, but you are on a path to becoming a healer. This is different for everybody. For some of you, you're like right on the verge. For some of you, you've never even thought about it. And healers can be so many things. You can heal animals. You can heal plants. You can heal, we're talking about, this is talking about bad health, but it doesn't have to be, it can be, but it doesn't have to be like, okay, somebody has cancer and you heal them. Yes, that could definitely be it, but there's mental healing. There's romational. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but emotional, romantic. There's all sorts of, and it can look at a million different ways. You could open up a flower shop and play certain kind of music, and for who knows what reason, whatever the tones, wherever it's located, it just heals. It's soothing. People love to come there. It becomes world renowned. Yeah, flower shop, coffee shop, something. It could, you don't have to know how it looks. I'm just telling you what this is. 7 of Pentacles on that High Priestess, 4 of Pentacles, and the Star card, Aquarius energy. This is seeds that were already planted. This is a wish fulfillment, your true north node, your destiny, your fate that you've been holding on to. And I feel like you've been holding on to it for quite some time, whether you're aware of it or not. That's why I'm here. Okay. It's time to move forward. Yes. Ignite yourself with that fire energy. And for those who are like, what do you mean move forward? What do I do? Meditate. Start meditating. Get in tune with your higher self. Open up your gifts. Okay. I'm going to shuffle, and then we are going to get into late earth signs. Okay. Can I ask a question too? Thank you, Vicky, for responding. Just so everybody knows, I don't purposefully ignore anybody. I just don't read the chat while I'm doing the reading. I wait till I shuffle to read the chat so that I'm not distracted and getting sidetracked. I like to keep my channel open while I'm doing the reading. But yes, I do answer questions. It's a super chat. It's $5 minimum. However, if you want, the mid-months just went out on my channel. You can look up your sign, your sun, moon, rising. And also, I will be here Friday at some point live to do the week ahead, all signs. Although there's no clarification, it's still available. Oh, thanks, Vicky. Yes, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe. Share it with somebody that you think might benefit. Hello, Carevo. I don't know if I said that right. Carevo George. Hello. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. You've been trying to meditate more lately, Leanne? I feel like it's best to set a routine. Not for everybody. Maybe some people don't. Like, maybe because I'm a Pisces and I can get willy-nilly if I don't set routines with certain things. And not like if I really don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. But it's easy just to be like, yep, that's just what we do next. That's what we do next. Oh, I'm getting a ringing in my ear. No different than, you know, I normally will take my shower at a certain time and like everything's kind of set. More routine. But sometimes when I feel like I need a change, I'll switcheroo my routine around for a day. Yeah, I normally meditate roughly an hour after I wake up. But I have certain things that I do in between there, like feeding cats and my stretches. And then, yeah. So anyway. All right, we're getting into late earth signs at Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Crappy Corn. What you need to know right now. I do give my feeling on the card along with any channel messages that come my way. So take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Feel free to watch your other placements. 15 to 30 minutes. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And or cross watch for somebody that you're dealing with. Ooh, that's a pretty Wheel of Fortune. I don't know if I explained, this is one of my newer decks that I got from a subscriber. Or actually a member now. But one of many, which I totally appreciate. So I don't know that I've seen all the cards. All right, Earth signs. We have number 26, hostility. Feeling pertaining to number 3, marriage. So could be a marriage, could be a lifelong partner, could be somebody you've been with for, you know, more than a year, I'd say, anymore. So take it how it resonates for you. Could be specifically a King of Wands. I feel like hostility and marriage, it's pretty much self-explanatory. There's a long-term situation that you're in and you're feeling a little hostility, feeling a little angry. There could be just the energy of that between the two of you. Like, oh, life is totally great till I get like, 2 miles away from home and start picking up on energy. Now I feel funny saying that because it just popped into my head that years ago I was able to, it's like roughly a half hour before my person had gotten home, I could immediately, my energy would switch. And I was like, oh, got about half an hour. They're on the way. So anyway, years and years ago, it could be your energy or the person you're dealing with, especially when we're tied to somebody, whether it's a long-term relationship, you're going to pick up on them. They could be picking up on you, maybe even unbeknownst to you or them. The King of Wands, specifically Sag, but it's Aries, Leo, Sag. They could be this energy. You could have it in your chart, but this is fire energy. So love fire energy, passion, drive, forward momentum, charisma, could even be pertaining to your own business, but unlikely because we're talking about a marriage. So definitely talking about a relationship of sorts. But the King of Wands, with all that passion and fiery energy, that can also go another way. Now, it's not in the reverse, so it's not like it's a toxic trait of the person, but they could be passionately angry. They could be passionately controlling, or my way or the highway. So take it how it resonates. Could even be your energy. Own it if it is. We have the Five of Wands. Drama. Okay. We have drama. We have a lot of drama here. Now, drama, chaotic energy. It's interesting to say the least. Then we have strength, Leo energy. Feel like you're about to take your power back if you haven't already. And then we have the Ten of Coins. So the Ten of Coins is stability, security, longevity. Could be upwards of 10 years, if not longer. But it is a stability and security financially and otherwise. It's 3D energy. So we will clarify. I feel like whatever this situation is gonna work its way out. I just realized I want that card. But I will say that right now it feels a little hangry. Are you hungry? Maybe that's it. Maybe you just need to sit and have a Kit Kat bar. A kid, okay? And the underlying energy, that which is happening beneath the surface that you may or may not be aware of. We have number 4, happy family. And it's pertaining to number 35, pathway. So interesting. Transformative pathway, of course, yes. New pathway, it feels like. Something shifting, changing. And happy family. So the happy family energy is going to be like the 10 of Cups. It's going to be that relationship energy. And I feel like it's pertaining to this person, unless it could just be your family unit. We will be clarifying. But either way, for some of you, I feel like we're going to move through this energy, and one way or the other, whether we're leaving it behind or moving forward with it, we'll find out. We have the Wheel of Fortune. This is good fortune. It's Pisces, Sagittarius energy, things getting moving after a time of stagnancy or maybe even hostility. Maybe the hostility is because of the stagnancy, a lack of movement or growth, expansion. The Wheel of Fortune brings in just that, progress after seemingly nothing at all. And then we have the 10 of Wands. That's dropping the burden, the baggage. What are we going to drop? Are we going to drop this situation? Or are we going to drop the baggage that we created in this situation and move on with one another? We're going to find out. Okay. What's the king? Oh, yeah, we'll clarify King of Wands. Who's the King of Wands? What's the King of Wands? No shit. The King of Wands is the King of Wands. Yeah, like, ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know if it's Star Trek or Star Wars or Star something. The Final Frontier. I got the song. I'm just getting that part. It's not Star Wars. It's Star Trek, The Final Frontier. I don't even know if the song matters. Maybe it's the fact that it's the Final Frontier. Oh my God. I'm sorry. So the King of Wands is definitely the King of Wands. And then we have the World card. We're ending a cycle. Aquarius, Capricorn energy. It's a time of celebration because we're ending an old cycle. Now, I feel like this could be a healing time for this relationship with the Two of Cups. Because we do have that healing symbol, kind of like what they have on the doctor's offices. It's actually the 2 snakes. And it's after the world. but you're going to have to take it how it resonates, because frankly, it feels like the King of Wands is ending a cycle. And then we have the Two of Cups. And we're taking a leap of faith off the bottom of the deck. So if I'm reading this, I'm reading that this king has ended a cycle, and with the relationship, they're taking a leap of faith towards it, right? Aquarius, Aries on that. Ending a cycle, new cycle begins. What's the Five of Wands? Now, I don't know if the new cycle is with you or not. We'll find out. Five of Wands, that's the drama and the chaos. We have the Ace of Cups. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, brand new emotional beginning. With the Three of Cups and the Judgment in the reverse, Scorpio energy. So right away, I want to say that the Judgment talks about surrendering and moving in a new direction. In the reverse, it's telling me that either somebody's coming back around again and or well, I heard final judgment, but I don't know. Give me more. The Ace of Cups to me is a brand new emotional experience. I feel like we're leveling up here. With the Three of Cups, it definitely feels like a time of celebration, because I feel like the final judgment is that this person isn't giving up. They're not moving in a new, or you. What am I talking about? This is your reading. I'm reading this as if we're talking about this king of fire. It's not his reading or her reading, okay? It's yours. And you were earth energy. So the drama and the chaos, I feel like whatever cycle ended, maybe for some of you, it was a split or a time apart or just a season. But I feel like things are shifting and changing. And I feel like even if there was okay, I'm done, whatever, there's a coming back around again. It is a time of celebration. Interesting, the next card we're clarifying is Leo, Strength, and on the bottom of the deck we have the Strength card. I feel like you were needing to take your power back. It could be that this person, it could be that you were picking up on their energy. So here's an example. Two people live together. One person has a horrible time at work. Maybe they hate their job. Who knows? They just hate driving, traffic, whatever the case is. They get home and you're picking up on their disgruntly crappy energy that they've been in all day long. Even if they're happy to see you, they're still, I mean, they've spent all day in junk energy. Then you're picking up on it. Now you're feeling junky because you're not aware that you're picking up on their energy. So there's no taking your power back. You're not in your power. You're not emotionally sovereign. You're literally just enmeshing into their energy. And then before you know it, you'll both think it's each other, but it's not. So somebody needed to hear that. What's the Strength card? Okay, I'm getting the song Fire, the way you walk and talk. Something about 411. So the Strength card. How do we get our strength back? Take our power back? We meditate, give ourselves a chance to rest, heal, be apart from others to really get to truly know our own energy. And the way to know our own energy is it's kind of like hermit. You need to kind of get to know yourself, your higher self, even ask yourself when you start feeling ick and you're surrounded by other people, is this my energy? Like, start talking to yourself, know yourself. You don't have to do it out loud. I mean, say it in your own head. But getting to know your energy, your higher self is going to help you to understand when you're picking up on somebody else's and not yours. So I feel like you taking time away and meditating, healing, resting is allowing you to get a new perspective, Pisces energy. And then we have the Knight of Wands. That's you moving forward with passion, drive, desire, forward momentum. That's taking your power back for sure. What's this 10 of Coins? So the 10 of Coins is being clarified by the Queen of Swords in the reverse, the King of Swords in the upright, and the Wheel of Fortune. The Queen of Swords in the reverse, Libra energy specifically, but it's Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. We have the King of Swords in the upright, Gemini specifically, but it's Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. You could be dealing with air signs, but it also depicts clarity, truth, honesty. And I would go as far as to say we've got feminine and masculine energies when it comes to, everybody does. You have both feminine and masculine. I feel like maybe there is been more of a masculine energy, possibly that you've been sat in when it comes to the way that you view things. You could have air in your chart. And that could air on the side. I like that. Air on the side of the masculine. That was so crafty. I like that. Anyway. Yeah. So, with the feminine in the reverse, it could be a lack of clarity, truth, honesty, maybe a little bit of lacking in balance. And with the king in the upright, that feels very black and white. It is this way or it isn't this way. Very quick to cut people out. Whereas the feminine energy would be more hand out, like, okay, I'm going to have a little compassion here. I want to hear what you have to say. More diplomatic, seeing everybody's side. The masculine's going to be like, it's my side. It's my way. When this comes to stability and security, I definitely feel like there's a need to bring balance back into your perception, your clarity, and the way that you speak. In general, when it comes to your stability, security, whether that's at work or home life. With the Wheel of Fortune, I definitely feel like, again, there's been a time of stagnancy, but things are about to come in. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the underlying as well. What I find interesting is that when it comes to stability and security, whoever is embodying that masculine air seems to be holding the pants in the family, in the situation. Very outspoken, could be harsh. And it could also be that whoever, if it's not you, if this is two people here that we're talking about, is in the queen feminine energy, it feels almost railroaded, and definitely lacks clarity and truth. Things are shifting and changing, though. I mean, so far it feels like a hot mess. So far, I feel like here's the deal. At the very end of everything, whether this stays together or goes apart, it doesn't matter. We call things in from the energy that we're sat in. So you've called this into yourself for a reason. And I feel like first and foremost, is to be clear and concise. And also, I feel as though it's important to work on your higher spiritual self, to understand the difference between your energy and other people's energy, and to make sure that you're balanced in your dealings. Balance is important because it shouldn't be my way or the highway. Yes, we speak our truth, we know our truth, but as far as being open and compassionate and always wishing the best for everybody involved, that would be everybody's way, not just your way. Okay, what's the Wheel of Fortune in the underlying? Page of Wands. Magician, Empress, Nine of Cups. Ooh, okay. Wheel of Fortune, things getting moving after a time of stagnancy. I think you're getting moving. I think you're taking your passion and you're hitting the road, Jack. With the Magician, I feel Gemini, Virgo energy. I feel like you're creating something new. The Empress, Taurus, Libra energy, something tangible. You're turning your dreams into reality. And I feel like you are creating. So yes, I could look at this as you're leaving the situation, and maybe you are. I could also look at this as if you finally are taking action, inspired action, creating, manifesting your new beginning, a time of fertility to truly not only create a new beginning. For some of you, you could be expanding your family, especially when we have the happy family card. The reason that so the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. So it could be that you are expanding your family and that creates this new pathway and you guys are able to shift and change together. The Nine of Cups also talks about being single. So it could be that you're creating this new beginning to be single. It also does, it is wish fulfillment, but it's also emotional sovereignty. So when one learns to be emotionally sovereign, it doesn't necessarily matter anybody's energy around you because it doesn't knock you. You're not moved by their energy. You have your own energy, you know your energy, you know where you're at. Yeah, you might not always have a good day, but it's your own energy. It's not that other people are affecting you. So frankly, I feel like this could go either way. It's going to depend on the person. Some of you, and you'll know if you decide to leave or whatever you want to do. So the Ten of Wands is being clarified by the Three of Cups. Time to celebrate. Woo! What are we celebrating? The Ten of Pentacles. The fact that we are grounded, stable, and possibly have a long-term career opportunity, home, foundation. And we're no longer tied by the Ten of Cups. The burden that you're dropping, I feel like it's this person. But I do want to emphasize that if you do not do the internal work and the shifting of your energy, which could be why you're making a decision to be done. Maybe you've already done all the work. You've already become emotionally sovereign and you're like, okay, they're either going to rise up or I'm going to have to rise on out. Maybe that's where you're at. But for those who are not, and they're just like pointing the finger, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. You've done all this and I'm, pretty princess, male, female, doesn't matter, sitting here innocent, or maybe I own a little bit of it, but really you're the one bringing me down, your vibes, blah, blah, blah. You attract, especially relationships, from something within you. This is an internal job. Therefore, the vibrations that you're in attracts somebody to you. That's like attracts like. It's science, right? And so I feel like this is a big rigmarole to talk about the fact that you need to own your power. Not to be powerful over other people, but to be in your power, to know the difference between your energy and somebody else's energy. You need to be emotionally sovereign to where you're not allowing somebody else's energetic mood to shift your energetic mood. And they're not the ones to blame. It would be you not having control over your own emotions, your own energy, which is all we really have control over. So if you so desire to leave this person, and it doesn't matter, to each their own, there's no shade there. I'm just saying that you got to do the internal work or you're going to attract somebody Different face, different place, but it's the same situation. Earth signs, it's time to move forward. Slam-a-dam-a-ding-dong. Okay. That's what I have. I honestly feel like that was a bunch of not fun. I mean, it was like lesson. Arrgh. Is that a cat? Is that a cat party? A party cat? I think it is. I love it. The last one, the earth one, oh my gosh. Hostility. Somebody's cranky. Cranky energy for sure. All right. I have a barbecue to get started. Actually, what? It's 3 o'clock. I have about an hour. Although I should probably prep. It doesn't help to start the barbecue if there's no food to put on it. Either way, that is what I have for everybody. Thank you all for joining me on this Wednesday. I will be back on Friday to give you all your personal signs readings with no clarifications for the upcoming week. That being said, thank you. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I will see you all on the next one.